Civil society organizations will be on the watch this Saturday for the conduct of the Osun governorship election. The election offers yet another opportunity to consolidate the gains recorded during the Ekiti state governorship election of June 2022, as well as to further assess the nation's preparedness for the 2023 general elections. Joining us on this show this morning as we discuss the preparations ahead of the Osun governorship election is Ene Obi, ActionAid, Nigeria's country director. Welcome to the morning show. Ene Obi, thank you very much for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Well, I mean, the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, in the course of the week said there will be about 87 observers, 79 local, and the balance will be international observers taking part in this Osun gubernatorial election on Saturday. But I know civil society would naturally be interested. This being the last major poll before we begin to head towards the 2023 general election. But what's your assessment so far of the preparedness for the election in terms of security arrangement, in terms of the conduct of the political parties and the gladiators themselves, and in terms of issues that you have observed?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. We have been in Osun some of us have been here for about a week. You know, a number of us, also arrived 2 days ago and yesterday, so the whole of Osogbo is flooded with observers, with people who are interested in the welfare, of the citizens of the state and also of the country. We have the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room is on ground. We opened our Situation Room yesterday. I think the preparedness is in top gear. There is a lot of preparations, but as is customary with the Nigerian Civil Society Situation Room, we called a meeting about 2 weeks ago where we normally have a meeting with the REC of the state and to give us a briefing about their readiness for the elections. And one of the unique things that I would say happened was, there was a lot of people that came in and, in terms of getting the PVCs, they said they had an avalanche of those who are getting the PVCs. And for them, that was really strange. They were overwhelmed when they then decided to deploy to the ward level. And so at that ward level, when they closed the ward level, there was still a huge number of people when they now went back to the local government areas. We appealed to the REC and to INEC as a national, the commission, to please reopen the ward because that shows that people really are interested in collecting the PVCs. And since you have the PVCs, kindly reopen and let more people, collect. And we're really happy that the Osun State Resident Electoral Commissioner was able to reopen, and his team. So great job because more people collected their PVCs. And I think by today we should have the exact number of how many people got their PVCs. And so when you are listening, you're doing that, it makes us happy because we are involved to make a difference. We are not government. We cannot be INEC. We can only do the bit that we have. And so I want to say that the readiness, we are satisfied with the readiness on ground. We had a debate, a situation room in collaboration with channels organized the debate. There have been so many other contributions by both, civil society organizations and also, media organizations. They have been great. The media is quite on ground. And so we are really excited that we're ready. The commission, that's Professor Mahmoud, called the stakeholders meeting, and there was a massive meeting here on Tuesday with the traditional rulers also involved. And so that meeting was held. And the National Peace Commission with the secretariat, staff from Kuka Foundation were able to also organize the peace accord signing, which was also overwhelmingly attended. And that so is a tick-tick kind of boss, a tick the box, we're going on board. And the observers have been trained. They have been trained. Some of them had refresher trainings from, the different organizations, the main stakeholders in the election. They are also able to have that level of training, and now deployment has happened. We equally had a meeting with the DIG yesterday. We are quite sincerely, we are happy with the stakeholders meeting, the pronouncement by the IGP, excited about the readiness of the security, agencies as well. And the pronouncement about issues of vote buying, what they are going to do about vote buying, we are hearing that and we are comforted by that. Ekiti had openly, a lot of people could testify that there was a lot of vote buying by almost every party that was involved. But those who have been arrested, we have not heard of sanctions yet. And if without sanctions, nothing will happen. We believe that Nigeria has the capacity. At the meeting with DIG yesterday, all the service chiefs, everyone, on ground, all the intelligence agencies, were on ground. And so if we really can activate the power that these people have, with, of course, with respect to the citizens, and they're able to really watch and look at what the Electoral Act 2022, has brought to us. I think that was a big lock that we kudos to the president for signing, though it was the 7th time they took it to him. But at least we got it signed, and I think Nigerians are lucky to have that. We have to look at the resources and investment into the, that Nigeria is making by bringing, the IGP announced 21,000, policemen. We have the civil defense, you have all the security apparatus, and they told us that because of certain flashpoints, they are able to bring in the army as well. We saw the army intervention really rescuing a lot of people, a number of strongholds in Anambra State. So I think we expect that they will live by the points. We commend them for the readiness so far, but we also expect so much from them. I think they are ready. They can do more. That's why we are here. And in terms of the security, they assured us they know the flashpoints and they're able to meet up. One of our requests yesterday to the Nigerian police was, now we are having a meeting. We had this kind of meeting in Anambra, before the election, that we need to get to the point where with the civil society, we also gather after the election, if we're really serious about making progress in our elections. I think coming from Ekiti State, the beavers performed, we can say 75%, but we want to watch the beavers perform 100% in Osun State. And I hope they're ready for it. We'll be on ground to give the feedback.
Well, thank you for that very detailed overview. I want to go back to that really important issue that you raised of vote buying and the seeming inaction for a whole month now since the Ekiti elections, where there was video footage, there was ample evidence, but we haven't heard much. I'd like you to go into more detail about what kind of pressure that you're putting on and onto whom to really ensure that people are prosecuted.
I think for us, we are not government. We can only hold them accountable. We all know that there is a security vote. We all know that there have been budgets have been expended. And if you are telling us that, some people were arrested, we have not heard anything. But when we came into the state as a situation room, we went into different agencies. We also had meeting with, INEC. We went to the DSS because we know that DSS arrested a few people, during that time. We want to let them know that we are here. We are here. We cannot be them. They need to do their job. And we believe in them. We have to believe we have, really intellectually capable people and technically competent people. I think it's a political class that try to maneuver, that try to manipulate. If not, we have competent people. They should allow them to do their jobs. And we let them know that Nigeria belongs to all of us. Nigeria also is one of the most beautiful countries, and we need to believe in it. We need to activate that. So we want to see their arrest. We want to have data on the arrest. How many people are being arrested? How many people are prosecuted? Both buying and selling is a criminal offense, and the police will need to do their job. That's why we go back to the IGP's point. They have also told us that they have set up, special offices which will now try and also investigate, any issue about vote buying. But there is a collaboration because of the Electoral Act, calls for collaboration between INEC and the security agencies. INEC has assured us, the INEC chairman, Professor Mahmood, has assured us that anybody who is caught will be tried and all of that. But when we are talking to the police is also saying that within the radius which they operate, INEC will need to tell them that there is an offense going on. So we are seeing that cloud is not very clear for us, because the Electoral Act also spells out what will be done. But we have to be able to come to terms with the fact that this is a criminal offense. If they have arrested some people and they put them in prison for 1 week, 2 weeks, or even 1 month, then we know that they get into a criminal record. People have to be arrested, and we have the capacity to be able to do that. We are saying they need to do that. If not, we're also on ground to hold them responsible. We're deploying, observers now, and the international observers are also on ground. We need to improve on the last election. And so moving forward is to say, let's make it better. Let's deepen democracy in Nigeria. And INEC is on trial here to improve on the record they have set. So we look forward to better days, not dark days.
Okay. I'd like to ask you, what's your take on this campaign stifling allegation that is going on in Osun State? The PDP said yesterday that the venue they finally used for the campaign was not the venue they intended, that the government of the state, which is also a political party in this election, did not allow them use the venue they ought to use and they requested for. The Labour Party also said the same. Is it something, that'll be captured in your report? Because when you look at the electoral process, people should be given the freedom to be able to campaign and use venues for rallies.
That really shocked us, when we got the reports that PDP wanted the same venue. It's not on the same day. They wanted the same venue, and other parties also wanted the same venue. We're surprised that that kind of reaction could come, because this is a free state. That you are in government does not mean that you should impeach in others. If you are sure of yourself, you don't have to be scared of anybody. So that came to us as a shock. But we are, as civil society organizations, we are not involved in deciding who uses a space or who that. But we feel that is an impeachment, infringement on other people's rights, and people have their freedom to be able to move. So we're surprised by that. And I think if you come in, and there was something that the peace accord did. After the signing of the peace accord, they brought in the governor to come and, because it's an incumbent, they brought in the governor to make some statements, at least assure people in the state that they are safe. And so I think that's the fatherly nature of governance that you need to play, that everybody that is coming to Osun State, they are your guests and needs to be treated well. And I think that's the overriding. If not, why did the peace accord give him advantage to come and stand on the national television to also tell people what they are doing? I think that is where we thought we were going to. That was the reason why that opportunity was given, because that wasn't done in other places. But so we're looking forward to a free, fair, and credible election. Credibility of election does not mean, it can be peaceful, but it may not be free and fair. And so we are calling on the people of Osun State to go out there, cast their votes for the choice that they want. If not, you live with that choice for the next 4 years. And we hope that, they'll bring about changes, the consciousness. We need to deepen the consciousness, of citizens. There is need for total mobilization because we are quite worried about voter apathy. The voting population in Ekiti State was 36.7%. We want to see better voting population in Osun State, and I know that the citizens are ready. Yeah.
Okay, let me go back to the issue of, electoral offenses. When Professor Mahmoud Yakubu was speaking, in the course of the week, one of the points he made was that the National Assembly should move very fast with the Electoral Offenses Commission bill. You'll recall that in November 2021, the Senate passed that bill and recommended 20 years imprisonment for anybody guilty of an electoral offense. Now, the House of Reps in June has taken a second reading of that same bill, and the expectation is that such a legal framework would take the burden off INEC and create a commission that will deal with electoral offenses, because at the moment, INEC is saddled with the responsibility of conducting the election and also prosecuting electoral offenders. Do you think that bill, if action is expedited on it and it comes on stream, would help?
I think it's important. That's one area that we have also been looking at, so that more pronouncements will come from INEC and not from the courts. The Electoral Offenses Tribunal will be able to take all of that off INEC, and we hope that they take it with speed, and we are going to promote that happens. I think the president is listening. This is important to Nigerians because we have a lot of things that are going on that we really cannot explain. We have a lot of political interference in the decisions that INEC is making because we are also looking at it. When you look at a place like, the primaries that happen, that a lot of people are accusing the parties of vote buying and so on and so forth. Nobody was arrested. And we can all feel the mood. The vibe is on. Nobody is arrested. The duty of INEC, because we plague INEC with a lot of issues, people are going, you can imagine somebody going to court, is it in Jigawa or Sokoto, for an offense that is committed in Anambra State. Somebody going to sue at that level and all of that. The judiciary also need to be brought in very powerfully, but we want the tribunal. The tribunal is very, very important to take the excesses. We want more pronouncement. The civil society organizations want more pronouncement of those who win elections, those who get, get the positions to be pronounced by INEC and not by the courts, because INEC has a special responsibility. I think why they struggle for vote buying is now more around the polling unit, is that there is a whole lot of improvement in the voting systems. And so we commend INEC in doing that, because it's getting tighter. Ballot box snatching is not in vogue anymore. Unless somebody casts a vote, you can't get that vote anymore. And so the decision for the choices that we make is now back into the purview of citizens. And that's why everybody must get your PVC if you are interested in voting. You need to get that PVC because you need to be part of the choice. We hope that more decisions will be taken, they will fast track, and also create that so that going into the 2023 general election, we don't have hangovers. Why we're having off-cycle elections is because of the issue of the courts. Elections are not conclusive and so on, and so it delays. Somebody else will sit on the seat for about 2 years, and then the court pronounces and a new person comes on board, to become the leader. And nobody is talking about accountability for those 2 years or so that the person have stayed, but they have all had access to the state funds. So it's a whole confusion. So we'll be looking forward to that. And thanks for bringing it on board. And I hope that the media, Arise and the total media can support that.
Right. In the interest of balance, I have to say that APC said that the accusation by PDP that they were not allowed to use particular venues was due to their failure to book said venues as other groups had done. But I wanted to ask you this point that you've raised twice now about the sort of boost in people registering to vote, which is excellent, and collection of PVCs, which is excellent, but it's a double-edged sword, isn't it? What might you want to say with regards to INEC's preparedness to serve all those people who have collected their PVCs, and we hope that they show up on Saturday, in terms of logistics, in terms of when the polling stations open? Just, I'd like you to address that part of it, just so that INEC knows what to do.
Yeah, I was at the INEC headquarters here yesterday, where I went to look at, the deployment of materials to the local government, and it was in top gear. They did deploy yesterday to the local government. Today, just about 10 a.m., they're also going to start deployment. Maybe they have started already, from the local government headquarters to the racks, and by tomorrow morning to the polling units. I think they are ready. We watched the distribution of the sensitive materials yesterday. I do think they are ready. I saw excitement. I saw the national commissioner who is involved, Professor Ajayi, who was on ground, and all the national commissioners that were on ground yesterday. And I think INEC is quite ready for the deployment. Different civil society organizations are deploying to all the local governments, actually deployed yesterday about 300, observers. So the different areas, Yaga is deploying, CDD is deploying, we have Kimpa, they're deploying. So a lot of members of the situation room are deploying to so many, environments to monitor the arrival, the timing arrival of the materials in these local governments. We saw the commitment. I also met, the REC, on ground there yesterday. And I think INEC has a squad. We have all the security agencies also on ground. EFCC, I think they're on ground. We have DSS, we have ICPC, you have, all of the security agencies are on ground. I think we are ready for the election. The police, the deployment is on ground. You can see everybody on ground. But we call on the security agencies to maintain what they did in both Anambra and also in Ekiti. But we need them to keep their eyes. Because one that I saw, I wish I documented that I saw a police officer, when somebody was going to move close to the cubicle, he stopped them from going close to the cubicle. Because people want to rush, so they see what the person is doing, who the person is stamping. But that gentleman prevented people. He was guarding them and making sure that they were poles apart. And that allowed, a lot of people to cast their votes. And so let them not just stand and do nothing. Orderliness of the of the electorate is very, very important. And I think for the police is to keep order, not just to sit and watch, but to also maintain that level. So we hope for better days. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
We'll be going out. Some of us will be going out this morning to see the rack. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for joining us on the morning show. Thank you very much indeed.